question was regarding payback,
Right.
Harry. Did I provide you with a write-up on that, an explanation on the payback? I thought I did, but you got that, Christie? Okay. The payback was right at 5 years when we did the analysis on all of the customers that were being served by Kansas City Power and Light Company, but were within the city limits of Gardner. And we did that, and I believe there were approximately 20 or 25 customers of that nature. We broke them up into groups. We worked very closely with Kansas City Power and Light Company because we had to identify the customers, and we had to identify the revenue generated by that customer. There's a formula that the Kansas Corporation Commission stipulates that we must follow for purchasing those customers, when you take the total of all of that, the purchase price and the cost to serve, it far exceeded our budget. So we grouped them, and we grouped them basically by geographical area. Made the most sense to serve. We'll pick these 5 this year and these 6 next year, and we budgeted approximately $300,000 a year to pick up these customers. A long answer, I'm sorry, but it was about 5 years payback.
Is this acceptable? I mean, within accounting, make a 5-year investment in something. I guess I'm asking from a financial. Is this a valid? Is this what we're supposed to be doing? Making investments in customers as a city?
I'm sorry.
I don't.
This is for the EUB.
I know your perspective, obviously.
Okay, here's the way economics work. We have a certain fixed cost to operate the city's utility. If you can spread those fixed costs over a small group of customers, which means each customer is going to pay more, or you can spread those over many more customers, and over time, each customer is going to pay less. One of the biggest mistakes we ever made was giving up the intermodal. It would have taken care of all of our customers would have benefited from that, because you take the kilowatt hours, the energy that the intermodal would have been using, that matches what we're using right now, and then you spread the fixed cost. It wouldn't require any more employees to serve that load, but you spread that fixed cost over all of those kilowatt hours, and everybody gets a break. And that's where we're going with this. Over time, every customer will benefit from purchasing these KCPL customers.
And that time is 5 years?
Yes, ma'am.
And from what I see from the addresses of these, you're talking about south side of I-35, south on Gardner Road.
For the most part, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Olathe 4, USD 231 developmental, and Nike Elementary School primarily.
So far, that's correct. We have money in the budget for this year. There are still a few other customers remaining. Off the top of my head, like Strecker Auction and buildings down there, those are still being served by Kansas City Power and Light Company, so that would be like North Center Street. The apartment complex on the northeast corner of 56 Highway and Moonlight Road is still being served by Kansas City Power and Light, but it's within the city limits of Gardner. So those are the customers that we're continuing to look at for 2014.
But there is an opportunity cost. The money could be used for other things within the city that have immediate payback.
Unless you wanted to transfer it to other funds, which you can do. We've talked about that. That would be a consensus thing.
Right, but I'm just suggesting that this is one of the problems with the structure that we have with the EUB, and that is that money, if purchased for what do we call that, I&I, or repairs on the manholes that are those payback, as I recall, for every $1 invested, $2 back immediately, and that also prevents us from having increased capacity. So anyway, I guess I'd like to see council reconsider the power of the Electric Utility Board when that money is used in other things.
If I may, the board has been in place for 5 years, and I cannot remember one time when the council has approached the board and said, can we work together? You've done a good job of replacing the reserves that were gone before the board was put in place. I do recall us talking about increasing the franchise fee on a couple of occasions that would have provided additional funding to the city. I think the board is willing to work with, cooperate with the council long-term for the betterment of the city.
Okay.
Then I also had a question. I see a lot of sole source provider notations. I mean, there's nobody else that can provide these goods and services.
What we do is we have standardized our system. It's not like a light bulb. A GE light bulb will work like a Philips light bulb, and we have certain hardware that we've standardized on. One of the main reasons for that is because it minimizes your requirements for warehousing. You know, you've got to have hardware and equipment on hand, and there's only certain vendors that provide the standardized materials and equipment that we require.
There's no competitors.
Not locally. And we have arrangements with them, Larry, for stocking, warehousing, equipment and material for us, so that if we run out of our standardized equipment and material, we can call our vendor, our local vendor, and they can provide it on short notice.
All right. Well, then, last but not least, the Toyota propane truck. What is that about?
That was a replacement forklift truck. We had a almost 25-year-old propane.
Okay, I get it. I was thinking it was a cargo type container.
Oh, okay.
Just wondering what is it?
Yeah, it's a forklift truck.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't make it clear in my description, but yes.
Anyone else have questions? To entertain a motion on new business item number 3.
I move that we approve the expenditures as described in new business item number 3, as well as pre-approve any forthcoming associated interest and penalty due to payments that have been voted on past their due date.
Second.
Motion, Freeman second, shoot, that we approve new business item number 3. You want to repeat that again, Keith?
Yes, I move that we approve the expenditures as described in new business item number 3, as well as pre-approve any forthcoming associated interest or penalty due to past due payments.
Any further questions? All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
New business item number 3 passes. New business item number 4.
Hi, Laura.
I was waiting for him to say it.
Hi, Laura.
You want me to go ahead?
Yes, please, go ahead.
In December, we issued an RFP for 3 years of financial advisory services plus 2 additional 1-year renewals, so 5 years, with several financial advisory firms. We sent it directly to 4 firms. Of those 4, 3 replied, 1 declined because they're representing a competitive city, and 1 additional made an inquiry but didn't respond. So we had an evaluation team of 4 staff members representing finance and administration. We reviewed the proposals and we researched the cities that they talked about for their references, and then we ranked them as noted here for their responsiveness, the nature and quality of their expertise, for the full range of services in the RFP, the experience and reputation of the respondent, the quality of their references, and the experience and availability of their support staff, and finally their fees. So I would like to point out that after we got through that initial ranking, we invited the top 2 to come interview with City Administrator Harrison Lee and I and Management Analyst Wolf, and of those top 2 respondents, they actually ended up being 2 of the top 3 nationally ranked firms in the number of bond issues advised. So it all worked out. Following the interview process, we recommend Ellers as the city's financial advisors. Bruce Kimmel of Ellers will serve as the city's lead financial advisor.